We're making flourless egg white keto tortillas. Let's go! By now, you may have noticed that my goal is to bring you a range of carb-like foods that taste good, that are as low in carbs as possible, and they use minimal but common ingredients. So far in this flourless egg white range, we have covered pasta, pizza crust, and today we're doing tortillas, and we're gonna do minis, we're gonna do the large tortillas. This is the mini. And if you want to make taco shells, you would just have them sitting on your bench top like that, and they would actually dry like that. When you heat it up, they go really soft, and I feel like this is a very versatile, beautiful tortilla. Now I am going to give you tips and tricks during the recipe, and if you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Mel. We like to show you clever keto recipes to help you achieve your goals. And guess what? It's free to subscribe, so go ahead and click that button, and let's get into the recipe now. We're starting off again with 180 grams of finely grated cheese, and my choice is Parmesan. To that, I added 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and this is going to help us get a more fluffy tortilla. Now our binding agents, which is 2 teaspoons of xanthan gum and 1 teaspoon of gelatin powder. Give it a mix to combine all the ingredients and get rid of any lumps. For the wet ingredients, we are using 2 egg whites and a pinch of cream of tartar, and this time I'm using a hand mixer to fluff them up to stiff peaks. If you are using egg whites from a carton, you will need 1/4 cup or 60 grams. Add the egg white mixture to your cheese mixture a little at a time, mixing in between, and form a ball of dough. For mini tortillas, you will get 5 out of 1 dough ball, and each one should weigh about 53 grams. Roll out each one between 2 sheets of baking or parchment paper, and here you see I'm using a small pot lid to tidy the edges. The dough is soft, so just press the pot lid down, no need to twist, then remove the excess. You may wish to add a little extra dough if you plan on tidying the edges with a pot lid, just so you have room. Over a medium to low heat with no oil or anything, dump the tortilla into the pan, and as it heats up, you will see a bit of bubbling take place. Then just flip it over until they have a bit of browning on both sides. And this is how they turn out. They are flexible, and I'm liking that they're not super thin. They feel quite fluffy to me, like a regular tortilla made with flour. So, what happens if you don't add baking powder and you don't whip the egg whites? I made the dough without baking powder and just 2 egg whites. Then to make large tortillas, separate out the dough into 3, each weighing about 84 grams. Follow the same process of rolling out the dough between 2 sheets of paper, and then you can see I used a large pot lid to tidy off the edges, and here I'm just showing you the difference between the 2 pot lid sizes. You want to be very gentle when removing the paper so you don't rip the tortilla. And if you're an awkward person, dump the tortilla with the paper into the pan, then gently separate, removing the paper, then smooth out any creases. It will still bubble up slightly, and then turn it over to cook on both sides. If you get an uneven browning on one side, just position the tortilla halfway out of the pan so the unbrowned side can catch up to the rest of the tortilla. I would say if you take the time to whip egg whites, for me, you will get a fluffier tortilla that tastes more closer to a regular tortilla made with flour. Now, Chris was saying that I'm just being very picky. The thinner ones are just as lovely. They're just thinner is the only difference.
I plead the fifth.
Let's talk about storage and some other testing I did. To freeze them, I wrapped them in paper and then in cling wrap. And this is how they looked after removing from the freezer. I was a little surprised that they were still flexible, but I did test them in the microwave, by cooking on high for 10 seconds at a time, turning them over in between. And they came out beautiful. Have you worked out my secret yet? You can make one dough for your keto pasta, your tortillas, and a pizza crust. And for me, that's going to be so convenient for you. You're going to save the headache of trying to get your ingredients for that recipe and that recipe. And it's a time saver when you make it because you're making one recipe for several things. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, and I hope you get to make flourless egg white keto tortillas. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and be well.